Ooh. So one of the first videos I made was about PI, which is the acronym I use for perspective, intentions, and empathy. And I want to just retouch on empathy because as I've been just learning more and more, I've come to the realization that, and I think I've spoken a little bit on this before, about how when we empathize, we put ourselves in someone else's shoes. But when we do that, we typically do it as ourselves. In order to fully empathize, you have to put yourself in someone else's shoes as them, with the information and experiences they have at the time. Now, what we also have to consider is the difference in personalities. So, the way I would react to something myself would be vastly different from the way someone else would react to the same situation based on their upbringing, their morals, their beliefs, their ideologies. All of that has to be considered as well when we try to empathize with people. And this is where a lot of misunderstandings come into play. And that's something that's been relevant in my life, where I'm trying to relate to somebody and I'm like, well, how come I don't understand this? Like, if I was in their shoes, this is how I would have done it if I knew X, Y, and Z, and if I was placed in that same situation. But again, there's that layer of, that's how I would choose to do things because that's who I am, that's how I think. Whereas someone else with just a totally different upbringing or thought process can come to a completely different conclusion. And that's perfectly fine, but in order to avoid those miscommunications and issues, you have to have a very, very open and raw conversation with each other. So you can say, hey, I understand why you're seeing it that way. This is the way I'm seeing it. Neither one of us is right or wrong, but based on the experiences we've had and the people we are, this is how I'm thinking of this, or the conclusion I came to. And that's fine. You can agree to disagree, and then you kind of lose some of that misunderstanding, and you come to the realization that the intention behind whatever you guys had a disagreement about was not anything malicious. And as long as it doesn't violate any moral or ethical codes for yourself, it shouldn't be an issue for your friendship going forward. But it gets very, very complicated when you compound that with multiple people, right? So, just something I was thinking of, something I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully that helps somebody with something. Have a good one.